Dear students, so we were discussing multiple choice question. Choose the correct answer from book back. I think we have covered up to 11 questions in the earlier class. Now let me start with the 12th question, which goes like this. Cyclopropane. In short, it is written like this. All right. CH2, bond CH2, bond CH2. This is cyclopropane. Propane is CH3. It is propane. It can be written like this. Line drawing. I may go like this. If it becomes a ring, CH2, CH2, a ring structure. To form a bond, we have to reduce two hydrogen. It is cyclopropane. Isomerization of cyclopropane. When it is forming open chain compound with no ring closure, no addition of hydrogen, it may form only cyclopropene, CH3, CH double bond CH2. Molecular formula will be same. C3H6. C3H6. I can write like this. Same. So cyclopropane becomes propene. Propylene common name, propene IUPAC name. Alright. This is said to be, of course, these structures we don't want now. This reaction follows first order kinetics. It is said to be first order. The rate constant of a particular reaction, but the rate constant at a particular temperature is K is equal to 2.303 into 10 power minus 2 Hauer inverse. Hauer inverse. The initial concentration, that is A naught. Initial concentration means A naught. A naught is given as 0.25 molar. 0.25 molar. Now, what will be the concentration of cyclopropane after, that is T is equal to 1806 minutes? That is the question. What will be the concentration? A is asked. A naught is given, A is asked. After time, 1806. It is first order. Rate constant given, concentration A is asked. Therefore, you know the relation. K is equal to 2.303 by T log A naught by A. This may be the equation. Because all the data we know, K we know, T is given, A naught given, only unknown quantity is A. But units if you go, concentration always mole per liter usually, but T and the K more or less same unit in the sense, time should be in the same unit. Here hour inverse, here minute. Either we have to convert hour inverse into minute inverse or minute into hour. Both are same. We can do anything. To convert minute into hour, it can be divided by 60. That is one option. 1806 divided by 60. How much it comes? 3 means 180, 30, 31 minute become 31 hour. 31 hour. Because 60 minutes corresponds to 1 hour. Therefore, I have converted minute into hour. Here, to convert hour inverse into minute inverse, it can be divided by 60. Hour into minute means it has to be multiplied. But hour inverse into minute inverse means it can be divided by 60. Both options are correct. Now we are trying this way. Both are correct only. Okay, what is the value? 2.303 into 10 power minus 2, let it be hour inverse, is equal to 2.303 divided by 31 hour. We have made more or less same unit. Log A naught by A naught, value of A naught, initial concentration 0.25 divided by final concentration A. Let it be like this. Now we need this one. Let it be like this. Log 0.25 divided by A is equal to, I kept as such, I have taken this side, 2.303 into 10 power minus 2 hour inverse into 31 hour divided by 2.303. Am I correct? Kept as such, taken this side. So, those in the denominator will become numerator. That's what I have written here. These two get cancelled. Alright. So, log, let me write here. Log 0.25 divided by A, concentration of A, is equal to 31 hour, 31 into 10 power minus 2 minus 2. Our and our inverse get cancelled. Now we have to take anti-logarithm. 0.25 divided by concentration of A is equal to anti-log of that value. Anti-logarithm means log will go off. Anti-log of 33.1, or I can say 0.31, like this it goes. When 31 is multiplied with 10 power minus 2, it is nothing but 0.01, therefore 0.31. We know log 2 is equal to 0.3010. That means anti-log of 0.3010 is nothing but log 2. It is understood. The reverse is equal to 2. Log 2 is this much, anti-log of this much must be equal to 2. So anti-log of 0.3010, we consider 0.31 should be equal to 0. That's what they are given in the question itself. I think they are given. Log 2 is equal to 0.3010. Instead of 3010, we have got 31. Yes, 31, not 301 only. It is 301 only. It's not 31, 301 only. All right. So it is 301. It becomes 0.3010 or 301. So anti-log of 301 is nothing but 2. That's what they are given, and we know as a chemist we should know log 2 is equal to 0.3010. Often we will be getting this number. And the reverse is also true. Anti-log of this number should be equal to 2. Therefore, this becomes 2. 0.25 divided by A, concentration of A is equal to 2. Therefore, concentration 2 into concentration of A is equal to 0.25, or concentration of A is equal to 0.25 divided by 2, which is 0.125. So concentration of A, this is in mole per liter, therefore this should also be in mole per liter. Therefore option is 0.25, option A. All right. Then 13th question. Just try yourself. Even though I am solving all the sums, it is your duty to try to solve the sum of your own. Then only you will be familiar. You can try new sums also. Then 13th question, for a first order reaction. Again first order reaction, rate constant is given. K is equal to 6.909 minute inverse per minute or minute inverse. The time taken for 75% conversion is asked. T for 75% completion is asked. All right. 75% conversion in minutes is asked. In minute. K is given in, rate constant K is given in minute inverse, therefore they asked in minute. We know for a first order reaction K is equal to 2.303 divided by T log A naught by A. Be familiar with this equation. Often you have to write this equation. Be familiar for a first order reaction. Now 75% completion means what is it? A naught, if A naught is equal to 100, A is equal to 100 minus 75, 25. That is the meaning of 75% completion. That you should know. 75% completed means A 25. Concentration remaining in time T. That time is asked. Concentration remaining, if the remaining concentration is 25%, what is the time? That's what they asked. So A naught we know 100, A we know 25, K is given, T is asked. So T is equal to 2.303 by K log 100 by 25. 100 by 25 is nothing but 4. T is equal to 2.303 by K. It is 6.909. See, just you can compare this to it is 3 times 2.303. That presence of mind is needed in solving the problem, especially in competitive examinations, especially multiple choice question. Log 4 is nothing but 2 power 2, because we may not be knowing the value of 4. 4 is nothing but 0.602. Log 2 is 2. Log 2 is 0.3010. Log 4 is 0.602. So you know this value. But here in the question, if you go for the options, they are given in log 2 value, log 3 by 4. So logarithm, they didn't solve the sum. They given log 2, log 3 by 4 like that. So let it be like this, or let it be log 4. We shall see in what way the answer comes. Here 2, it is 1 by 3. 1 by 3 log 4. Whether this option is given, we shall see. 1 by 3, no, this option is not available. And next to that, t is equal to 1 by 3. 1 by 3. I said 2 power 2. 2 power 2 means 2 log 2. Therefore, it becomes 2 by 3. 2 by 3 log 2. That's what they might have given. 2 by 3 log 2. Yes, the option B is correct. Log x power y is equal to log x power y is equal to y log x. That you know. So that's how 2 comes front. 2 by 3. So 2 by 3 log 2. They didn't solve the sum. They given options without solving the sum. You can get the answer. All right. That is about problem number 14. Now let me go into 15. Today I will be completing all the book back questions. And in the next class, let me try to solve sums. Other questions and answers, direct questions you may be knowing. If you have doubt, just send a message by WhatsApp to the group and I will be clarifying in the next class. 15th question. So 14th question. In a first order reaction, x gives y. In the first order reaction, x gives y. If k is rate constant, it is the first order reaction. K is rate constant, of course we know. Initial concentration of the reactant x is, initial concentration of the reactant x is 0.1 m. You are asked to find out half-life. Initial concentration of x is given as this much. Half-life. Half-life period is equal to, T of is equal to 0.693 divided by k. That is half-life period. But that direct answer they didn't expect. They given 0.6932 divided by k. That option they didn't give. And log. All right, let us go in the from the beginning. 2.303 by t log a naught by a. This is the expression for rate constant of a first order reaction. When t becomes t of a will become half of a naught. All right, half of a naught. That is a naught by 2. Therefore, k is equal to 2.303 by t half log a naught and a naught get cancelled, 2 will go over the meter. This is the option they might have given. K is equal to, they asked for half-life. Half-life T of is equal to 2.303 log 2 divided by k. 2.303 log 2 divided by k. If it is removed, you will be getting natural logarithm. That is T of is equal to, if you multiply, you will be getting this option. T of is equal to 2.303 into log 2. Log 2 is 0.3010. If you multiply, you will be getting this answer. Now, what is the answer they have given is, they started with this. K is equal to, instead of 2.303, 1 by T half, instead of log natural logarithm, A naught by A naught by 2. Have you understand the difference? Instead of using common logarithm, that is logarithm to the base 10, I have taken the equation logarithm to the base e. Logarithm to the base e means I can take just ln. Alright? So 2.303 will not come. To convert natural logarithm into common logarithm, I have multiplied by 2.303. Otherwise, the equation will be like this. And the answer is given back based on natural logarithm, and therefore I have to go to that. I started with this. This option is not given. Next, I started with this, expecting this answer may be present. That is also not found. Therefore, I moved to this equation. K is equal to 1 by T half log A naught by A2. Now, K is equal to 1 by T half ln, that is natural logarithm, 2. This option is given. So, ln 2 divided by T half. T half is equal to, T half is equal to K. upon interchanging. So ln2 divided by k, option C is correct. All right. This is correct expression, but option is not available. This is correct one, option is not available. This is also correct, option is available. All right. Then 14th question, 15th one. Predict the rate law of the following reaction based on the given data below. Predict the rate law of the following reaction based on the given data given below. So you are asked to find out the rate law. Rate law means order they have asked. We have to find out order with respect to A as well as B, because the given reaction is 2A plus B gives C plus D. For this reaction, if we know order with respect to A and order with respect to B, we can write the rate law. Now, what is the data given? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times they have conducted the experiment with different concentration. Concentration of A 0.1, 0.2, 0.1, 0.2. Likewise, they have varied the concentration of A and B. For B, it is 0.1, 0.1, 0.2, 0.2. Likewise, they have varied the concentration. Now, the initial rate is found to be, the rate is found to be x, 2x, 4x and 8x. This is how the rate get altered. Now, they are asked to find out the rate law. How to find out the rate law? Let me write the rate. Rate 1, rate 1, rate 2, rate 3, rate 4. Let me find out rate 1. What is rate 1? Rate is directly proportional to, or rate law may be, in general rate law for this reaction may be rate is equal to rate constant into active mass molar concentration of A to the power m molar concentration of B to the power n. We may not be knowing the order. As per the equation, it looks 2 and 1, but we may not predict based on the equation. It has to be experimentally determined. We have conducted the experiment 4 times by varying the concentration of A and B. We have started the reaction, first reaction, with concentration 1 mole per liter of A, 1 mole per liter, 0.1 mole per liter of B, and the rate was found to be x. Now I have increased the concentration A alone. I have doubled the concentration. Now rate is doubled. I kept the concentration as such, and I increased the concentration. I doubled the concentration. Rate increased by 4 times. All right. Now I increased doubled the concentration of A as well as concentration of B. Rate is found to be increased 8-fold. So based upon that, I have to find out the order. If I know the order, I will be finding out the rate law. Now rate is equal to rate constant K into molar constant A to the power m, B to the power n. What will be the first rate? Rate 1 will be equal to K into concentration of 1 is 0.1, A is 0.1 to the power m. Concentration of B is 0.1 to the power n. Now, what about rate 2? Rate 2 is equal to K into molar concentration of 2 to the power m into molar concentration of B to the power n. 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, 0.2, 0.1. Now, what is the rate 1? What is the value of rate 1? Rate 1 is nothing but x. Rate 2 is nothing but 2x. Correct? Rate 1, first rate, second rate. Let it be equation 1 and let it be equation 2. If I divide equation 2 by 1, what will happen? Why 2 by 1? It is higher value, therefore I have taken at the numerator, that's all. If I divide 2x by x, 2 by 1, therefore 2x by x is equal to k by k. 0.2 by to the power m divided by 0.1 to the power m. 0.1 to the power n to the power 0.1 to the power n. Am I correct? These in the numerator, these in the denominator. Now k and k get cancelled. 0.1 to the power n, 0.1 can get cancelled. Now 2x by x is equal to, which is equal to 0.1 to the power m is nothing but 2 into 0.1 to the power m divided by 0.1 to the power m. 0.1 to the power m, 0.1 to the power m get cancelled. 2x equal to, therefore x is equal to, 2x, not 2x, 2. 2x by x is equal to 2. 0.2 is nothing but 2 into 0.1. 2 power m, 0.1 to the power m. Likewise, I have separated. 0.1 to the power m, 0.1 to the power m get cancelled. 2 is equal to 2 power m. Therefore, m should be equal to 1. Then only we can get the value of 1. If 2 power 1 means it is 2. So m is equal to 1. So order with respect to A is 1. So I can start the rate law. Rate is equal to K into molar concentration A to the power 1. About B, still I have to find out, let it be n. Still it is n. Now m is equal to 1. What about next to rate? Rate 3, rate 4. Rate 3. What is rate 3? Rate 3 is equal to 4x. Rate 4 is equal to 8x. What is the value of 4x? Is equal to K into molar concentration of A, that is 0.1 to the power m into 0.2 to the power n is equal to K into, rate constant is a constant, 0.2 to the power m into 0.2 to the power n, which is equal to 8x. Let it be equation 3 and let it be equation 4. Let me divide equation 4 by 3. I will be getting the answer because it will get cancelled. 4 by 3 I may not get, I may get only the value of m because n will get cancelled. I may get the value of n. Therefore, better to go in for 4 by 1. Let it be 4 by 1. Alright, 3 by 1 may be correct one. 3 by 1. 3 by 1. Because in 3, m will get cancelled. Only you will be getting n. So 3 by 1, let it be 3 by 1. 4 I don't need. Without having the value of 4, I can find out the answer. Alright, 3 by 1. What is the value of 3 by 1? 4x by x. 3 by 1 is equal to k by k. K by k. What is the numerator value? 0.1 to the power m into 0.2 to the power n. Divided by 0.1 to the power m into 0.1 to the power n. Am I correct? This numerator value I have given, this numerator value I have given. Get cancelled. Get cancelled. Get cancelled. 4 is equal to 2 power n into 0.1 power n divided by 0.1 to the power n, which get cancelled. 2 power n should be 2. Only then it will become 4. 2 power 2 is equal to 4. Therefore, n is equal to 4. n is equal to 4 means b is equal to 4. N is equal to 2 means b is equal to 2. This is the rate law. Order with respect to A 1, order with respect to B 2. Not as per the stoichiometric equation. That is the rate law. So the option is A power 1, B power 2. That is, B option is the correct option. Now let me go into 16th question. Assertion rate of reaction doubles. Rate of reaction doubles when the concentration of reactant is doubled. If it is a first order reaction, yes, that's what we have seen here. When the rate is doubled, when the concentration of the reactant is doubled, rate is also doubled for a first order reaction. For a zero order reaction, it is independent. For the second order reaction, the rate will be squared. This is how we have seen. Now, it is a first order reaction. Assertion A is correct. A is correct. The reason, rate constant also doubles. No, rate constant is a constant. And therefore, it is wrong. Rate constant is a constant. It can be doubled when the temperature is increased. That is different. So, reason is, it is not the correct reason. Therefore, C is option C is correct one. Then 17th question, the rate constant of a reaction is given. The order of the reaction is asked. Rate constant of a reaction K is equal to 5.8 into 10 power minus 2 per second. Now, what is the order? No information is given, they asked order. How can you find out? They given the unit for rate constant. It is the unit for rate constant of a first order reaction because rate is equal to rate constant to molar concentration to the power 1 for first order reaction. Therefore, K rate constant is equal to rate by molar concentration of reactant, whatever it may be, A or reactant. Unit for rate is mole per liter per second. Unit for concentration of reactant is mole per liter. Get cancelled. Therefore, unit is second inverse. This unit is applicable only for a first order reaction. As per the unit, we come to the conclusion that it is first order reaction. That's all. No other data is given. Only thing that we can use here is the unit for rate constant. If the unit for rate constant is per second, it should be a first order reaction. That's all. For different order reactions, we'll be getting different units. For zero order reaction, it is just mole per liter per second. For first order, second order reaction, liter per mole per second, like this it goes. That you can derive based upon the knowledge you acquired. And then during the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide to give dihydrogen, hydrogen peroxide is decomposed to form water and oxygen. This is how it is formed. All right. Hydrogen peroxide decomposes to form water and oxygen. That is dioxygen. 48 gram of oxygen is formed per minute. 48 gram per minute. Now the question is, of course, at a certain point, the rate of formation of oxygen at this point. Rate of formation of oxygen. How much rate of formation of oxygen, or whatever it may be. Here, it is given in gram. Rate is equal to df minus df H2O2 by dt is equal to plus df H2O by dt is equal to 2 into df O2 by dt. The number of moles have to be divided. 1 mole means it has to be divided. Half mole, if it is divided, 2 will go to the numerator. So this is the rate. Now 48 gram means how many moles you have to find out. Mass divided by molar mass gives number of moles. Number of moles will give mass by molar mass. Molar mass of oxygen is 32 gram per mole. Why? Oxygen is O2, atomic mass 16, 2 into 16 gram per mole is equal to 32 gram per mole is the molar mass. If we divide, we will be getting 1.5 gram per mole, 1.5 mole. Gram and gram get cancelled. When mole inverse go to the numerator, it will become mole, 1.5 mole. 1.5 mole of oxygen is found per minute. That may be the rate. Mole per minute is the rate. All right. Now, it has to be multiplied by 2. Because to equate the rate, it has to multiply by 2. If it is multiplied by 2, you will be getting 2 into 1.5 mole per minute. That is the answer. 3 is the answer. All right. It is the rate for everything. So what is the correct option? Rate of formation of nitrogen, NO2 and oxygen is given respectively. Question number 18. So I have question number 19. It is question number 19, which is 3 mole per minute. 19th question. 18th question, I think we didn't see. 18th question we didn't see. It is 19th question. Here rate of formation of oxygen at this point is 3 mole per minute. All right. 18th question. 18th question, more or less similar question it seems. Just I have skipped. 18th question. For a reaction N2, it is 18. Earlier I have discussed 19. N2O5 decomposes to form 2NO2 plus half O2. The value of disappearance of N2O5. df by dt. Rate is equal to minus plus 1 by 2 df NO2 divided by dt is equal to 2 into df O2 by dt. All right. df N2O5 by dt. Here 2 moles, therefore it is divided. Half mole, therefore 2 is multiplied. Here plus, here plus. Here in concentration is reduced, therefore minus. Product concentration is increased, therefore plus. Here the rate of formation of NO2 and O2 is given respectively. So what about rate of formation of it is dN2O5 by dt. That value is given 6.5 into 10 power minus 2 mole per liter. d of NO2 by dt means it has to multiply by 2. Just the rate of disappearance. Rate means it is common. If it is dNO2 by dt, it has to multiply by 2. When it comes over here, this value has to multiply. You will be getting 13 into 10 power minus 2 mole per liter per second. Mole per liter per second. All right. Which is nothing but 1.3. If it is multiplied by 10, it has to be divided. It is divided by 10, therefore it has to be multiplied. 10 power minus 1 mole per liter per second. All right. Now what about d of O2 by dt? If it comes over here, it has to be divided. So it will become 3.25 into 10 power minus 2 mole per liter per second. So the answer is 1.3 in 10 power minus 1 mole per liter per second and 3.25 in 10 power minus 2 mole per liter per second. C, option C. Then question number 20. Let me go into question number 20. If the initial concentration of the reactant is doubled, the time for off reaction is also doubled. Then the order of the reaction is. Initial concentration of the reactant is doubled. Time for off reaction is also doubled. This is the case only for zero order reaction. Half-life period is independent. For a first order reaction, 0.693 divided by K. It is expression for half-life period of a first order reaction, you may be knowing. For a zero order reaction, we can derive, for a zero order reaction half-life period, we can derive T half is equal to, in general, it is 2 power n minus 1 divided by, you should know the relation, n minus 1 K into initial concentration to the power n minus 1. Always n minus 1. Don't forget, always n minus 1. It is for any order reaction other than 1. For other than 1. It is for first order, n is equal to 1. For a first order reaction, half-life period independent of the initial concentration. And therefore, this statement is wrong. Initial concentration of the reactant is doubled. The time for half reaction is also doubled. The concept is wrong for a first order reaction. Therefore, it is not first order. It is other than first order. Which order we can just check. For a zero order reaction, half-life period is directly proportional to the initial concentration. How we can find out? When n is equal to 0. 2 power minus 1. Am I correct? 0 minus 1. Minus 1 divided by 2 minus 1. Sorry, 0 minus 1. K into A naught, 0 minus 1. Now 2 power minus 1. So let the 2 come out to the denominator. 2 power minus 1 means let it come to the denominator. 0 minus 1 means minus 1. Minus 1 into 2 power 1. That is 2, minus 1, let it be minus 1 here, K, 2 power 1 into minus 1 into 2 power 1, 2 power minus 1 we have taken, alright, let me write in 2 steps, 2 power minus 1 divided by minus 1, K, A power 0 to the power minus 1. Now, let me rewrite the equation. 2 power minus 1 I have taken to the denominator, 2 power 1. And then minus 1, let it be minus 1. Let it be minus 1. In the numerator, minus 1. 2 power minus 1 I have taken to the denominator, K as such. Alright. A power, A naught to the power minus 1. Let me take it to the numerator, A naught to the power 1. So the equation becomes minus and minus get cancelled because this minus 1 is remaining. Minus and minus get cancelled. Therefore, A naught to the power 1 is nothing but 1. I can write like this, 2K. So, T of is equal to A naught divided by 2K. That means it is a constant. T of is directly proportional to initial concentration and therefore it is a zero order reaction. So the conclusion is it is a zero order reaction. Then next question. In a homogeneous reaction, A gives B plus C plus D. The initial pressure was P naught. Alright. So little bit lengthier sum. Let me try to solve. Or else we can try. If I try to solve, time may be lengthier. Let me give just hints. Go into question number 21. It is little bit lengthier sum. So let me start from this end. 21. A in a homogeneous reaction A gives B plus C plus D. The initial pressure means at time t is equal to 0. It is found to be P naught. And after time t, the pressure was P. You are asked to find out the expression for rate constant K in terms of P naught, P and T. Only these terms they are expecting in the expression for rate constant. It is considered as a first order reaction. Only for first order reaction we can give the expression, because we were discussing so far first order reaction. The assumption is that it is a first order reaction. Alright. So for a first order reaction, rate constant K is equal to 2.303 by T log A naught by A, or in other words, I can say A by A minus X. So A initial constant. What for I have used this? Let me explain now. A gives B plus C plus D. So initially, let me say A moles are taken, number of moles initially. Number of moles taken initially. Number of moles. Initial. A gives B plus C plus D. How many we have taken? A. Nothing. Nothing is present at the start of the reaction. Reacted in time t. X. Therefore, I have taken initial A, reacted in time t x. Nothing might have reacted because nothing is present at the start of the reaction. Present at time t. Reacted, present means initial minus x. Present at time t, A minus x. Here, x will be formed. So total number of moles. A minus x plus x plus x plus x. A minus x plus x plus x plus x. X and minus x cancel, therefore it will become A plus 2x. Now the assumption is that number of moles taken initially A, present at time t A minus x. Alright? Number of moles of reactant concentration. When we consider rate constant, concentration taken initially, concentration remaining at time t. Concentration of the reactant remaining in time t. But when we go in for pressure, at the start of the reaction we have only A moles. Therefore, pressure due to A mole is P naught. But pressure P is not A minus X. It is the number of moles present at time t. It is 2A plus 2x. The total, which is total pressure corresponding to P, is pressure at time t, which corresponds to all the total number of moles at time t. Alright? Only when we go in for rate constant or rate, we will be saying initial concentration of reactant remaining at time t. Initial concentration of the reactant remaining at time t. Now, the pressure is due to total number of moles. Therefore, this. They are expecting this equation to be expressed as P naught, P and T, and not this and this. Therefore, we have to find out A and A minus X in terms of P. Alright? A, of course, we know. A minus X we have to get. For that, A plus 2X is equal to total number of moles, A plus 2X. A plus 2x is equal to total pressure. Total pressure is due to total number of moles. A plus 2x. Alright? So, A plus 2x is equal to this much. So, 2x is equal to AP. Am I correct? Or else, let me go in this way. A by A plus x is equal to, A plus 2x is equal to P naught by P. Because we want to express A and A minus x in terms of P naught and P. So, A divided by A plus x is equal to P naught divided by P. Now I want A plus 2x. So A plus 2x is equal to, when it come over here, AP by P naught. Or 2x is equal to AP by P naught minus A. That is 2x is equal to AP minus AP naught divided by P naught. Am I correct? P naught is taken common. So AP minus AP naught. If it becomes X, 2X is equal to this much. Therefore, X is equal to AP minus AP naught. I can take A common term out, A P minus P naught divided by 2 P naught. Am I correct? When 2 comes over here, it will become 2 P naught. 2X is equal to this much. X is equal to 2X equal to this much. X is equal to A taken out, P minus P naught. When 2 comes over here, it becomes like this. Now, what is A minus X then? I want to get A minus X. I know A. A we know. We need A minus X. A minus X is equal to A is nothing but P naught. A is nothing but P naught. P naught minus A into P minus P naught divided by A P naught. Now let it be taken as a common term. A P naught is equal to A minus X is equal to A P naught is taken common. Therefore, it is A P naught minus A. What about here? We have 2 P naught. Sorry, 2 P naught. P naught minus X is nothing but A P minus P naught 2 P naught. So here it will become 2 P naught 2 P naught so now we have got X. We need the value of A minus X. So A minus X is equal to A minus A P naught P minus P naught divided by 2 P naught. X is this value, A is this value. A minus this value, A minus X, which is equal to 2 P naught. When it comes over here, 2A P naught minus A into P minus P naught divided by 2 P naught. So A minus X is equal to 2A P naught minus AP plus 2 plus A P naught minus AP minus into minus plus AP naught divided by 2 P naught, which is equal to 2 AP naught plus AP naught will become 3 AP naught minus AP divided by 2 P naught. So this is the expression for A minus X. We got the expression for A minus X now. We know A is equal to P naught. We know A is equal to P naught. A minus X is equal to this much. Now, the expression for rate constant of a first order reaction is K is equal to 2.303 by T log A naught by A. What is A naught? Initial concentration we have considered as P naught. A. What is the concentration of reactant time T? A minus X. Instead of A, we have assumed A minus X. So therefore A by A minus X, which is nothing but A naught by A. This A minus X is nothing but A. This A is nothing but A naught. So instead of A naught, we are substituting P naught 2.303 by T log P naught divided by 3 into A can be taken out. A can be taken out. 3 P naught minus P divided by 2 P naught. Now A can be taken as such A. Instead of P naught, I can take as such A because I want to cancel out A. So initial concentration A is taken as such A. Concentration A minus X is given like this. Therefore, it will become 2.303 by T log A and A get cancelled. When it go to the numerator, 2 P naught divided by 3 P naught minus P. All right. This is the expression for rate constant of a first order reactant. That is the reactant A gives B plus C plus D in terms of P and P naught. All right. 22. Remaining 3-4 sums, let me try to solve now. If 75% of the first order reaction was completed in 60 minutes, 75% completed in 60 minutes, 50% of the same reaction under the same condition would be completed in 75% 60 minutes. For one half-life, the time required for one half-life is, say, some time. Two half-life, 100 to 75, one half-life, 75 again to 100 to 50, 50 to become 25, another half-life. Now, for 75% completion, that is to become 25%, 60 minutes is required. Total 60 minutes. 2 half-life is equal to 60 minutes. 2 half-life is equal to 60 minutes. Therefore, 1 half-life is equal to 30 minutes. That's all. So the question is, 75% of the first order reaction was completed in 60 minutes. 75% completion means 2 half-lives. 100 to become 50, 1 half-life. 50 to become 25, another half-life. 75% completion, remaining 25. So 30 minutes plus 30 minutes. So 2 half-life is equal to 60, 1 half-life is equal to 30 minutes. So answer is 30 minutes. 21st question. Let me go in for next question. 23rd question. Half-life period of a radioactive element is 140 days. Half-life period is a first order reaction. That you should know. All radioactive disintegration reactions are first order reaction. Therefore, it is a first order reaction. After 560 days, 1 gram of element will be reduced to. We have started with 1 gram. Half-life period 140 days. After 560 days, how many will be remaining? 1 to become 1 into 0.5 gram. 1 half-life is needed. To convert 0.5 into 0.25, another half-life is needed. 0.25 into 0.125, third half-life is needed. To convert 0.125, another 0.0625, another half-life is needed. How many half-lives we have crossed? 560 corresponds to 560 divided by 140. How many times it comes? 4 half-lives. 1 half-life is this much. Total time duration 560. So 560 divided by 140 is equal to 4 half-lives. Alright. T is this much. T half is this much. T is equal to this much. T half is equal to this much. When I divide, I will be getting 4 half-lives. T is equal to 4 half-lives. Alright. T divided by T half is equal to this much. Therefore, T is equal to, when I divide, I will be getting 4 half-lives. 1 half-life 0.5, second half-life 0.25, third half-life it will be reduced to 0.125, fourth half-life will be reduced to 0.0625. So, the question is, after 560 days, 1 gram of element will be reduced to how much? 0.625 gram, 0.0625 gram. That is the answer. Or 1 gram, half gram, 1 by 4 gram, 1 by 8 gram, or 1 by 16 gram. The answer is 1 by 16. If it is in decimal point, 0.0625, otherwise 1 by 16 gram. 1 by 16 gram, D option. The correct difference between the first order and second order reaction is, a first order reaction can be catalyzed. A second order reaction cannot be catalyzed. It's not so. Any reaction can be catalyzed. A half-life period of a first order reaction does not depend on initial concentration. Yes, half-life period of a first order reaction does not depend on initial concentration. The half-life period of second order reaction does depend on, yes, that is correct. The rate of a first order reaction does not depend on reaction concentration. The rate of the second order reaction does not. So option B is correct. Half-life period of first order reaction does not depend on initial concentration. Half-life period of second order reaction does depend on that. Option B is correct. Then 20th question. After 2 hours, the radioactive substance became 116. The same as in 23rd question. It is reduced to 1/16th of the original. Then half-life in minute. How many half-lives it would have crossed? 2 hours In 2 hours, the radioactive substance has reduced to, in 2 hours, it is reduced to 1 by 16. 1 half-life, 2 half-life, 3 half-life, 4 half-life. So 4 half-lives is equal to 2 hours. 4 half-life is equal to 2 hours. The question is, what is the half-life period in minute? So half-life period is equal to 2 by 4 hour, 1 by 2 hour, half an hour. Half an hour is equal to 30 minutes. When it is multiplied by 60, you'll be getting 30 minutes. So with that, we complete the 1 mark question.